In 1519, a small group of just a few hundred Spaniards landed in Mesoamerica, a world bustling with powerful empires. Incredibly, within just a few years, those mighty empires would collapse. How did such a monumental shift happen so quickly? Let's unravel this complex story. Before the arrival of Europeans, Mesoamerica was a vibrant tapestry of advanced civilizations. The Aztec Empire, with its magnificent capital Tenochtitlan, dominated central Mexico. The Maya, renowned for their art and astronomy, had built sprawling cities across the Yucatan. These were societies with rich cultures, complex political systems, and huge populations. They were, by any measure, formidable powers. Then, everything changed. Hernán Cortés and his expedition arrived on the Gulf Coast of Mexico. They brought with them soldiers, but also things the indigenous peoples had never encountered before: thundering cannons, steel armor, and perhaps most terrifying of all, horses. These new elements of warfare gave the Spanish a significant psychological and technological edge in early encounters. It's a common misconception that the Spanish conquered these vast empires all by themselves. The truth is far more complex. The Aztec Empire, for example, ruled over many other indigenous groups through force and tribute. Cortés was a shrewd strategist and quickly exploited these existing rivalries. He forged crucial alliances with peoples like the Ticos, who were bitter enemies of the Aztecs and saw the Spanish as a way to finally break free. These indigenous allies provided the Spanish with essential supplies, intelligence, and thousands of warriors, vastly outnumbering the conquistadors themselves. However, the most devastating weapon the Spanish brought wasn't a sword or a gun. It was invisible and unintentional disease. Smallpox, measles, and influenza, common in Europe, were completely new to the Americas. The indigenous populations had no natural immunity. The diseases spread like wildfire, wiping out entire communities. Some estimates suggest that up to 90% of the population died in the decades following contact. This demographic catastrophe weakened the empires from within, creating chaos and making them vulnerable to conquest. The climax of this initial conflict came in 1521. After a long and brutal siege, the great Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan fell to the combined forces of the Spanish and their indigenous allies. This event was a major turning point, marking the beginning of 3 centuries of Spanish colonial rule over much of Mesoamerica. The conquest brought profound and lasting changes. The Spanish imposed their language, their religion, and their political structures. Great cities were rebuilt in European style, and the old ways of life were suppressed. Yet, it's crucial to remember that indigenous cultures were not erased. They survived, adapted, and resisted. They blended their traditions with new influences, creating the unique and resilient cultures we see in the region today. The fall of these empires wasn't a simple story of a few brave adventurers toppling a civilization. It was a complex web of military technology, political alliances, and the catastrophic impact of disease. It's a story of conflict, but also of survival and the enduring spirit of resistance. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more.